Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today's project, I hope you don't think it's too early for this. People have been asking, but it is Christmas. This is my first Christmas project of 2016. I hope you like it. I hope you don't think it's too early. Do let me know. It is a really cute little triangular treat box, present box that's designed to hang up like this so you can hang them on your Christmas tree. Gone for very traditional colours here, but I think it just looks really nice and really sweet. They'd also be really cute table favours because they do stand up perfectly like that. And it is a true triangular box. It's not a pyramid. It's not a sloping box or anything. And you can undo this little knot here. Okay, undo the ribbon. And it just opens like that. So there's quite a good size there where you can pop in lots of chocolate treats or whatever you want to give as Christmas presents. So I am going to put this to one side and we will start the video on how to make it. Okay, so we're going to start with a scrap of Emerald Envy cardstock, and we are going to use this stamp from the gorgeous Peaceful Pines set, which is available in the annual catalogue, so you can get it straight away. It is a really lovely set with all these different Christmas trees on it. The pictures are a bit smaller than the actual stamp size, so you can see that stamp is a really good size. So we're going to start. I'm going to bring in my mat and some Versamark, and let's get our stamp set. Stamp even really nicely inked up in Versamark. Okay, and just going to stamp that down on the middle of my cardstock. We are going to cut this out so it doesn't need to be perfectly straight or anything. Put that away. And I've got some gold embossing powder. Let's just slide some paper underneath so we can reuse that. I'm just going to sprinkle that all over the Versamark. Tap that off. There we go. I put the embossing powder back into the pot so we can use that another time. Okay, let's bring in our heat tool and we will see the magic happen. I'm sure if you've watched a lot of my videos you've seen this before, but I don't think that the magic ever goes away really. It's a really lovely technique. Let's turn that on to heat it up a second. And hopefully you can still hear me. We will just heat up gently that powder that we have just embossed, that we just tipped on, and you can see there we go, it's starting to melt and that magic is happening of that tree emerging. There we go. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful. Such an effective and simple technique. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to cut this out using the Perfect Pines framelits, which coordinate perfectly with the Peaceful Pines stamp set. We have used the largest of the dies. Let me just show you the dies. So you get 3 different Christmas trees to coordinate with the 3 different Christmas tree sizes in the set. And then there's some lovely dies here to add some features. So you can put some little cute little leaves, some tinsel, some baubles. We're going to go for this one, which is sort of the tinsel-y look. So let's push that away. Okay. Oh, and I also need to, before I put that away, I'm just going to get out the largest of the Christmas tree dies. Uh-oh. Right. Try not to spill everything, Caroline. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, bring in the big shot. Here it is. And I've already set this up, so I've got my magnetic platform and then I've got 2 cutting plates. Treated myself to some new cutting plates recently. I wish I'd done it earlier. It is really great to have them. So I'm going to firstly pop on my cardstock, and the first thing we're going to do is cut it out with this sort of tinsel die. So I'm just going to line that up, and the magnetic platform makes this really easy because I can just snaps into position. You don't need any tape or anything to hold that down. So just pop it in the cutting plate on top. I'm just going to run that through the big shot once and twice. Okay, and then I know from experience that this works best if I then just flip that round and just run it through again. There we go. And you just make sure those holes go through the card beautifully. Okay, let's pop off that, pop out a die, and I'm just going to very quickly, if I can find what I've done with it. Oh, it's gone somewhere. Here it is. Just very quickly, my Big Shot brush on the back of that die to pop out the last of those holes. Okay, perfect. So now all those holes are out. You can see those holes are there, and those will shine through in a minute. You will see how that works as we put it all together. Then all that's left to do is to cut out the tree itself. Okay, pop that on there, pop the cutting plate back in on top, and we'll take that through the Big Shot again. Take it through once and then all the way back. Okay, take that off, and there is our tree beautifully cut out with those nice little holes pushed through, and that gold embossing just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Okay, let's tidy this all away. So let's move the Big Shot out of the way, and we are ready to start making up our actual little box. Okay, oh, I forgot to say you need one for each side of the box, so here's one that I prepared earlier. So we've got my two nicely heat embossed ones. This is another one I was doing my prototype. I actually did tone on tone stamping. I think that looks really nice as well. So there's different ways you could make this up, whichever you feel that you prefer. There's, you know, you can play around with this stamp set a lot. Okay, let's start on our box. Okay, I just paused the video there for a second. Sorry if I was rushing the last bit. I could hear the baby stirring, so I just wanted to get through that so I could go and settle in. So he's gone back to sleep now. So I have brought in my Simply Scored and a piece of real red cardstock that measures 10 inches by 7 inches. And we're going to start by scoring it on the shorter side at the top. We're going to score it at 3 inches and at 4 inches. Okay, I'm going to turn that round, and we are then going to score it at 1/2 inch, at 3 3/4 inch, 6 1/4 inch, and 9 1/2 inches. Okay, perfect. Then what we want to do is turn it back round, and we want to score it at 2 1/2 inches, but we're just going to go down to the second score line going in the opposite direction. Okay, so that's at 2 1/2 inches, and then at 4 1/2 inches do exactly the same and just go down to that second score line there. Okay, then we're going to flip it round and do exactly the same. So at 2 1/2 inches, just to that second, sorry, at 2 1/2 inches, just to that second score line, and at 4 1/2 inches again, just to that second score line. Okay, don't know how well you can see that. Okay, put the scoring board away, but we still need to do a tiny bit more scoring. So I'm going to bring my grid paper back in. And what we need to do in this central section here, we're going to draw a triangle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know this section here is 2 1/2 inches, so I'm just going to use my grid paper, and you could do this on the Simply Scored, is to put a little line at 1 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 inches, which will be the center of this box here. Okay, not sure if you can see that, maybe if I tilt it that way. So this square here, I put a little mark here in the middle, turn it round and do exactly the same. So from that score line there, 1 1/4 inches, and a little notch just to show you where that middle is. Then you need to bring in a ruler, which I have forgotten, so I'm going to use the side of one of my plates. And where we're going to score is from that little notch to this central line here. Okay, so we're going to draw there and then here as well. Okay, so just using I'm just going to make that notch. I can't quite see it in the light for some reason when I put it down. So I'm just going to line up my ruler or my scoring plate. You just really need a straight line, and I'm going to press on really hard and draw that line. Now you can do this with a pencil or a pen. You just want to be able to, you know, a pencil is ideal so you can rub it out afterwards, but I like to score it so you don't have to bother with that rubbing out. So can you see there I've scored that triangle? I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side here. If I can line this up. The light in here isn't brilliant tonight for some reason. Maybe it's just my eyes getting a bit old. Okay. So can you see that I've scored those two triangles there perfectly. Okay, bone folder time, and we are going to fold along that central box section there, and then we're going to fold the other side of those triangles we've just made. So basically where we folded those triangles, we want a bone folder, so you can't see, so where we folded the triangles we're going to bone folder there, and on the other side, and then either side of them. Does that make sense? Okay, now to do a bit of chopping. So we are going to actually chop quite a lot of this out now. So at the end we are going to find the very middle rectangle, which is an inch wide, and we're going to snip up on either side of that, and then we're going to snip up here, we are going to snip up there. Okay, so we're just left with a little flap, and we'll do exactly the same on this side, up there, and up to the middle there, and flip it round, and the same on this side. Okay, you can see that. Next, can you see where we scored that line that doesn't go all the way along? We're going to cut up those on all four sides. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out along those lines we scored on the triangles. Okay, so we need to cut that one there as well. Let me bring this down so you can see it. Sorry if I was off camera a little bit there. Okay, and our last one is just here. And there we go. Okay, so we've cut quite a lot away and we're left with a shape that is basically like that. Okay, next thing to do is corner rounder, and these little flaps here, we are just gonna round those off. Okay, and then this side as well. Okay, don't drop it. There we go. Okay, my children really don't want me to make this video tonight. Alex was settled, and then Eve started crying again, so they're both hopefully asleep now, so I can finish filming. So what I just did was I rounded the top of these two corners off. That was the last thing I did. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is just trim at a chamfer. Now you're not going to see this, it doesn't matter exactly what angle you cut these off at, just the corners of each of these flaps, we want to cut those off as well. Okay, these two, last two here and here. Oh, didn't go right to the end there, did I? Right, okay, so we have a shape now that looks like this, and we are pretty much ready to build up our box. So one side, it doesn't matter which side, we are going to put some fuse or other strong adhesive along these two flaps. Okay, and then we'll fold that up and just stick a triangle down there on one side, fold it round and stick it down on the other, like that. Okay, this will then fold up inside, and you can see how our box closes, and then we can open it, and it's a good size to put all your Christmas treats in. Okay, just gonna, oh, what's that sticking somewhere? There we go. Okay, and then so we can hang it, we're just going to bring those two tags together at the top, and I have my 1/4 inch handheld circle punch. I'm just going to punch through both of those together to make our little hole for our tag. Next thing to do is our Christmas trees that we embossed earlier. It seems like a lifetime ago since we embossed these two. And I'm just going to, oh, I forgot, we need to cut off the tree trunk so it fits on your box, but I don't think that really makes a huge difference to the look, so I'm just going to cut those off. Okay, and then I'm going to use just some fuse on the back of these. And then these are just going to stick down on either side of my box. There's one. And there is two. Okay. And we are nearly, very nearly done. All we need to do is to close it up, and I'm going to use some of the gorgeous gold ribbon. If you haven't seen this ribbon before, it is beautiful, and I'm going to start by feeding it through the hole here. And what I think is nice to do, oh, pull it open, is to, so you can help to keep it, I mean it does stay closed quite nicely on its own, but if you just wrap it round the box, it'll just help to keep it closed. Feed it back through the hole. Oh, maybe I should have made a slightly bigger hole. Feed it back through the hole there. Just use my scoring tool to help. Oh, you know I love ribbon. You know I love ribbon and cameras. Okay, so, oh, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, this video has taken forever to film. It feels like it with all the interruptions from the children. If I cut this off, maybe that will help me work out what exactly I've done here. What have I done? Okay, so pull this tight. So I've just double fed that through the hole, which will help you to keep it closed. Obviously pop your treats in first. What have I done? I've done something stupid here, haven't I? Anyway, you get the idea. If you feed it through the hole, back through the hole twice. What have I done? Oh, maybe I should take this out. It's a bit of a blooper reel, this one, isn't it? Right, so feed it round your box. Like this. Feed the other end through the hole. Like that. Get it right this time. There we go. So that will help to keep it closed and just adds that little bit extra bling. And then you can tie them off together in a knot at the top. There we go. And give that a little snip, and you can hang that perfectly on your Christmas tree. Voila, what do you think? I think that's really sweet, and it's a good size box, putting quite a lot of treats in. Hopefully you like it. If you would like to buy any Stampin' Up products, it would be my absolute pleasure to help, so please do not hesitate to get in touch, and I hope you don't think that it is too early for Christmas in August. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.